Welcome back, everybody, and a huge welcome to the finals of the final qualifier for the first season of the Team Liquid Legacy Star League. I am so excited to be here, Elegant.
Yeah, me too. We've come a long way in the last couple of weeks. We've seen a lot of fun action, and it's almost time to get the tournament started proper, but not until we find out who actually is going to be the last to qualify through winning. Well, we already know who's going to be the last to qualify through winning, but who's going to be the last to qualify? I believe we'll be taking a look at the point standings after this game, but of course in this one these guys are going to be competing for positions in groups. Of course, the higher you qualify, the better position you're able to choose in your group.
Indeed, but more importantly, as we said before, it's about the women and the glory
of
winning a qualifier.
Or casting.
Oh, exactly.
But you know, only 2 casters, a lot more qualifying spots available, so you do the maths.
Okay, so this is going to be a TVT, possibly, because I've just received word from a semi-reliable source that Rams race picks PVT. So it could be a PVT, could be a TVT. We will not know until we enter the game. It's a mystery.
Yeah, we could be getting sleep tonight, we might not. You know,
exactly. If it's a TVT, we'll be here basically until the round of 24 starts. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah, Rams versus Project. I don't want to beat around the bush any longer. Let's just go into game 1, Elegant.
Yep, no more bush beating. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Project versus Rams. This is the finals. So, here we are in game number 1. At the top left, as the yellow Terran, we have Project. And at the top right, as the brown Protoss, indeed, we do have Rams. A quick note, by the way, apparently Rams waited quite a long time for this match, since Project spent so long in his semifinals. So, he was a little bit tired, but he played it out like a champion, so good on you, Rams.
Yeah, well done to Rams indeed. So yes, it is going to be a PVT. So it looks like we'll get some sleep after all, Mr. Sale. Loving the Russian national anthem, by the way. Not only does it make me think of just epicness and frost and ice and marching Terrans, but it also makes me think of back in my Call of Duty days. Fun times.
Indeed, and oh man, mad props to Hawaiian Pig for that idea. He is one of our lovely organizers / graphics guys, by the way, so that I'm not going to take credit for that. That's too clever for me even. But anyway, so I'm actually curious about Rams' PVT. I had no idea that he was a race picker. I mean, I thought I casted him in ISL 1, right? So yeah, I would have thought that I knew that, but I guess I'm just a terrible person and I didn't.
Me too. Why don't I know this? Why am I so behind?
It's quite funny because it's kind of like Andre, actually, because Andre race picked PVT instead of playing TVT, right? Against, was it Terror or something? I think it was against Terror. But the funny thing is that given how few Terrans are in the tournament, it probably doesn't matter. They won't have the chance to race pick anyway.
Nope, absolutely not. So yeah, it is really weird that I don't remember Rams being a race picker. I'm sure I remember him TVTing, actually.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. See, now that we see it and I know it, I vaguely have some kind of recollection, but maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't know.
See, I really don't. I don't even get the placebo imagining effect thing, which I already know. I literally, I think I remember him playing Terran. Wow. I guess my mind is just addled. That's the only explanation I can think of. I know nothing.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Oh well.
But anyway.
Yeah, we're living in the present, not the past, so we may as well just accept what we have and move on with it because Rams is Protoss, and so that's all she wrote. That is what we have to deal with. And Rams looks like he's going to be going for a late second pylon. Is he going to proxy a pylon, maybe?
Oh my
god,
he's 10-15 gating. Like a boss, pick Protoss against Terran and 10-15 gate. That's what's up.
This is what I said earlier.
Rams
This is brilliant because earlier I actually said it doesn't matter what race you are. Anyone can pick Protoss and 10-15 gate their way to victories against Terrans, and this is exactly it. Thank you, Rams. Thank you.
Oh man, okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what's going on, 10-15 gate is a slightly cheesy, essentially Dragoon rush, where you basically get 3 or 5 Dragoons out as quickly as humanly possible, or Protossly possible, basically. You're cutting some probes. You're still making probes occasionally, but you do have to cut some probes to get everything out in time. But you can put on a ton of early pressure with the goons, and you know what? I quite like it on this map because it's a reverse ramp, so you can kind of claim the high ground here, and it's very, very annoying for the Terran to deal with. So this is quite amusing to me. I don't know if this is necessarily what Rams had in mind, or if he's just because he's tired and wants to end the game, but I love it.
Yeah, I like it as well. I think it's a good strategy for the map. Whether it's what he originally planned or not, or whether it's kind of a tiredness strategy, I think it can work. I think it's good. And his second and third Dragoons, I should rather say, about to pop out now.
What,
he is also, noticeably producing a Zealot as well, which is going to, of course, be very, very good for tanking damage, and is going to get him in nice and close to those Marines where he wants to be.
I'm not sure about that. I have never in my life seen a Zealot produced as the third round of the gateways. It's almost always, or rather it is always, a 4th and 5th Dragoon. See, the timing basically works out so that your Dragoons actually pop out exactly the same time. So you get 1 Dragoon, and the 2nd and 3rd pop out, and then the 4th and 5th pop out. So you get 5 Goons super fast, and you can put on a lot of pressure. The Zealot will help the tank damage, but in these small level micro engagements, I think a Dragoon is much more valuable.
Yeah, I think the Dragoon is probably more valuable as well, but it looks like he is going to go for the Zealot's damage, and doing so. Nice job of the engagement right there as well. Even before his Goon range kicked in, I think that was, he's still able to make effective use of his Dragoons, and he's already able to get them in to the Terran main base. His Dragoon range is now done as well, so he's now going to be super effective with his Dragoons. He needs to make sure to keep them alive as long as possible, but he is already forcing the SCV pull. This is actually working really, really well from Rams so far. He needs to keep reinforcing this though, otherwise he runs the risk of getting his Dragoons quite badly trapped, which would of course be disastrous. SCVs, we've already mentioned several times how incredibly good they actually are against Dragoons, but he's definitely going to be able to catch at least one of these tanks with his Dragoons right now if he micros effectively, but those SCVs are going to provide a very, very adequate meat shield in order to protect those tanks.
Man, this is actually very interesting by Project. He really wants to hold the high ground. He does not want to just give it up and go retreat back into his main and hold the ramp, because he knows that if the Dragoons get positioned up there, it's going to be extremely difficult for him to actually break up again. So he's like, all right, I'm just going to pull this many SCVs. I'm losing mining time, but I definitely want to keep this position. And actually, he might even poke out a little bit, although I guess no, he's just going to play defensively, lay some mines here, just keep himself alive. I guess he's very, very worried about losing to this 10-15 gate. It's a pretty obnoxious strategy for Terran. Oh man. Sick mine there. I almost missed it, Elegant. I just went back to the Protoss base. Yeah,
that would have been super bad. That mine really seriously hurts Rams. He had a Zealot. I don't know why he wasn't just tanking straight forward with the Zealot, at least to eat up those mine hits, which he should have known were on the way, but I guess he just hadn't quite bargained for it. And now this makes Project safe, and Project should be able to start making up the CC for himself right now. It looks like he's a little bit afraid of a DT follow-up though, throwing down his engineering bay, which is a bit surprising actually, given that he already has mines out.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Maybe it's also in case there's a Reaver or something. I mean, if a Protoss is gonna 10-15 gate, it's fairly likely that he's gonna do some, crazy follow-up like DTs or Reavers as well. So might as well play it safe. But in this case, it was just an expansion Nexus. So that Nexus is actually gonna be almost finished by the time this command center has just started. Now the thing is, even though Rams had to cut a few probes for this, he didn't cut that many, and obviously Project had to pull a lot of SCVs early on as well. So I think economically, Rams is going to be in fantastic shape here. Yeah, I think he's going to be looking good, because Project's CC is actually pretty late, and we can see the next has already just come in. It's interesting to see what tech path he's following up with, and indeed we are having a DT follow-up right now from Rams. So it seems Project actually called this quite well, although his tech is a little bit unnecessarily early in order to defend this, but nonetheless better to be safe than sorry. Yeah, he made a robo too as well, so I'm a little bit confused. Is he like... It's got to be DT drops. Well, yeah. He's with observatory as well. He's getting a second gas. Okay, I was gonna say, because it's very gas heavy to do that, right? DT drops and get observers and stuff. So he's getting a second gas fairly quickly as well. He's got or he had a probe of the third to maybe make a third, but I guess he doesn't have that now. I wonder if there's actually might be a bit of a fake here. He's put a Dragoon there, or he's put a pylon. So if Project runs a Vulture up here, it'll get blocked by the Dragoon, but he'll see the pylon and maybe assume there's a quick third. But instead, there's gonna be DT drops, and I think that's a pretty cool fake. I don't know. I'd say that the quick third. Well, I know he's throwing down the Tempo Archives. Okay, but I'd say the quick third
would be more of an indication that he's going to go for a big army in the mid game rather than go for DT drops.
Two base arbiters.
He is going for two base arbiters. So he's going to have a third gateway up. He's not going to have a huge mid game army, but nonetheless, I think he will have his opponent fooled. So all the while, Project, I believe, is going to think that there's a third base coming up, at least until he has scan. While it could not be further from the truth. Two base arbiters, of course, a very, very delayed third base built into this.
This is a good time, Delegate. 10-15 gate into two base arbiter.
This is old school.
See, Rams knows what's up. Oh man, he forgot to put 3 guys on gas on his main.
Oh no.
Oh no, dude, he's going for like one of the most gas intensive builds. Two base arbiter, and he's also getting obs in good time, and he's only got 2 guys on his main gas.
And only three at the natural as well, where gas mining is not efficient at all. You'd need to have 4 probes on gas to actually mine properly out there.
Oh man, poor Rams. I was gonna say, you know, he knows what's up. He's a Terran player himself, so he knows how obnoxious Protoss can be with their builds. Yeah. And unfortunately, he's not doing it. By the way, you see this medic? Project actually loves to do this. After he opens with FD, because he's got 6 Marines already, and he made the Academy for scan, he always makes a random medic just to heal the Marines, and I love it. It's so cute. Like, I don't think it makes a huge difference, but it's just a cute little move. And you know, why not? You already have all the tech. It's not like it actually costs you anything extra.
This is actually a little bit scary now as well for Rams. Project's moving out with quite significant force. It's not huge, but it is concentrated and it is strong. And the Dragoon count is decent from Rams, but again, when you go for this Arbiter build, you do sacrifice quite a significant amount in army count just to get that super early tech, and the tech, of course, is not going to be useful for quite a while. Observers now out are going to enable him to see that army coming towards him, but it's already made its way a long way across the map. He needs to really hold that big ramp at least, otherwise he's going to have himself severely restricted and he's going to get quite quickly contained. Oh, nice! Observer snipe right there as well. Did 2 observers go down right now?
Yep, that's right.
Oh,
2 of them did.
Damn, that hurts. That really, really hurts. I wonder if Zealot Speed is forthcoming. Yeah, Zealot Speed is now happening for rounds, but again, it can be a while before it comes in, but he definitely needs to start throwing down extra gateways. Okay, he is doing exactly that. Just make sure he can get that big Zealot explosion and hopefully fend off this push.
And Project is playing this very, very carefully. He doesn't want to advance too quickly, of course, because he will be trying to push up a ramp here, so a slight disadvantage in that regard. But yeah, as you said, it's a pretty scary army for him. The Marines actually do a surprising amount of damage against the Zealots and Dragoons. They actually have pretty high DPS. The main reason they're not used, you know, as an actual force in mid to late game PvT is because Storms and Reavers are very good against them. But in this case, he's facing neither, so actually the Marines will probably be a pretty nice supplement to this army. And the thing is, they're the only anti-air at the moment, so they'll help to snipe like shuttles and things if there's any Zealot bombs going on.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite nice, and it looks like, oh, he might force an engagement now. The tanks are in range, and here we go. The Goons and Zealots are charging downhill. The rest of the army is kind of chilling back behind the tanks. They should be buffering for the tanks, but here we go. He's just trying to get a slightly better position, and oh man, with only Dragoons left, that's not going to go well against this Terran force.
Yeah, I think Rams made the right choice right there in pulling back. Having said that, it wasn't a bad engagement for him. He did lose a few Zealots, and he should probably have tried to wait until he had Zealot speed, but nonetheless, he did manage to take the edge off the front line of the Terran force right there. Oh, looks like another Observer going to go down right now. But good job of sniping off a couple more tanks for the cost of only 3 Dragoons. That's actually not too bad, and Rams seems to be making a good dent in the army of Project right here, just by using clever positional play and choosing his engagements carefully.
Yeah, I'm quite impressed, and the thing is, his first Arbiter is on the way. It does take forever to build, though.
Oh, I forgot to build up good energy.
You know, that's the tech that he's invested in. If he can get that out, that would be very, very, very useful. Even though it won't have any spells yet, it will have just be able to cloak everything, basically. So force Project to keep scanning, although it looks like it might have to just engage before that can come out. He's going in with the Zealots. A few Zealots getting stuck behind the Dragoons. It's so many units, though. Oh, man, it's a massacre. Blue goo everywhere. GG from Rams. Project takes him down before the ARBs can even come out.
Yes, indeed. So Project looking super, super strong, well on top of his opponent's strategy in that game, whereas Rams looked like he had the superior economic position to really take him into a slightly easy and safe mid-game. Project showed us that couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think, what did Project actually come out ahead after fending off the 10-15 gate? Because that might help explain it, but
I can't see that he did.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. So I don't know why the Protoss was so weak in that situation. I guess rushing for the 2 base ARBs just really cut into the army too much. It
does. It really does cut into the army. You have to be pretty confident in your defense. Project committed hard to that mid-game push as well. It was really a pretty hefty number of units that he was pushing out at the end there. I mean, I didn't realize quite how strong that contain was until right at the death, and I was like, wow, there's no way that that's going to be breakable for the Protoss.
Yeah, I'm thinking now also, maybe it's because because he went for a pretty fast robo and then went 2 base arbiters, which I thought was quite strange at the time, because normally if you rush straight for the arbiters, you skip the robo because you don't have enough gas. So he got a very fast second gas. He got the Robo early on as well, but he didn't make Reavers, he only got Obs. So I guess that all kind of contributed to just cutting back his army at varying levels. Because also just mining the gas from his natural is cutting back on his mineral income as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Combination of things.
Yeah, it would have been at least nice if he didn't have
also,
one
Terran isn't balanced.
Also that, which I think we can chalk down as the main factor. And with that, yeah, let's get ready to go on to the next game.
Alright, we'll be back after this quick break.